real game changer for me when I realised I wanted to work with cars was I was working an event in London, and there was this fantastic delivery mileage Ferrari 355 on the stand, and it was absolutely gorgeous, mint, the paint was fantastic on it, and I turned to my colleague at the time and I said, wow, look at this car, it's incredible, you know, it's got this brand new thing, it's fresh out the box. And he turned to me and he said, don't you think that's sad? And I said, well, I don't know. And he was just like, that car should have been bought by an Italian man, it should have been driven up the Amalfi Coast, and he should have made love in the back seat, and there's so many things that car should have done. It should have had a life, and it never did. And from that moment I thought to myself, yeah, you're right, these cars have more of a purpose than to just stand still and do nothing. It should live as well, it should have a life. I'm Kat Hughes and I own Undercover Car Agent. I'm a vehicle management expert, and what that basically means is that I work behind the scenes with classic car owners, looking after collections of vehicles and also advising storage companies on how to best keep classic cars and maintain them. The ability to get out there and drive a car absolutely means the world to me. My favourite drive would have to be a road rally around the Champagne region in France, absolutely. Classic cars, to me, they almost live. You would be convinced that they have feelings, emotions, mood swings. My Alpha is when I've left it for a couple of days, I go to turn it over, it's like, no. I'm like, come on, no. Come on, well, fine. But then after I've used it, then I turn it over. This morning I go to use it, straight away, nothing, bursts into life. You have to be invested in the vehicle emotionally to make it do what you want it to do. So when I used to work for an auction house, I used to see maybe 100 cars in a weekend. I'd see them come through and I'd be like, oh God, I really like that. But the first thing that I would do to confirm it is I would go and look through the history files. And you know, sometimes I'd be super disappointed because I'd get to the history file and be like, oh, yeah, it's done nothing. The car hasn't got a personality. And other times you'd see something a bit tatty come through and you think, oh, it's quite nice. And you'd go and you'd look and you're like, yes, it's done this, it's done that. Look when it went to, and it'll have a history file, a proper history file telling you that that car has had a life and lived. So I absolutely live by the concept that cars need to be driven. In my opinion, they're time capsules. You know, they are the personification of fashion, engineering, technology, everything that was great at the time. A lot of these cars completely embody that. In the same way that you do with art, you have a responsibility to try and maintain that for the next generation. Sounds really weird to say it, but classic cars are the epicenter of my life, and because they encourage who I'm friends with and the events that I go to, the social life that I have, even my partner. So yeah, classic cars are very much the core of my life at the moment.